Now, December
Or
26th.
their leader didn't have that fiery cannon. That's the sound to sleep to, not live.
Tone C with a $2 Super Chat. Merry Christmas, OTS fam. Tone C, hopefully it was a good one for you, brother. Michael Krause with a $2 Super Chat. JD and Jesse and OTS.
Okay.
And JD Grant. Merry Christmas, my friends. Thank you, brother.
It affects the machines. I've got to find Araya.
Cody Snyder with 32 months. Merry Christmas, Chief. And the OTS family, thank you for making life a little bit more enjoyable. All the best. Thank you, brother. Stu Sexton with a re-up.
Wait a moment.
Stu Sexton is the second longest running VIP member in the entire OTS community. Right behind 10.
It was made by an acquaintance of mine.
Thank you, brother. Hopefully you had a very nice holiday.
No.
Johnny Boy Vaccaro with a $2 Super Chat. Merry Christmas to you, yours, and OTS family. Thank you, brother.
Like this. But it could be improved upon, modified.
Johnny also sent a $5 Super Chat. Next Christmas movies are National Lampoon Christmas Vacation, Die Hard, Jack Frost, The Wreck, and Violent Night. Highly recommend if never seen.
Hasn't been stripped by
Bro, I'm more of a Home Alone and Just Friends type of guy.
The length of your spear. That's all I can tell.
Michelle with a $5 Super Chat. Now maybe Darby can focus on Mox and not the tournament.
It's perfectly
And
normal.
like Jericho, you feel like AEW's moved on from Mox. The Mox story is that Mox is trying to stay relevant. Yeah, Jericho's trying to remain relevant in any way that he can. It's quite sad. I went over it. I discussed it on Saturday night. It's blatantly obvious. It's been obvious. It's even more obvious now.
Any news from
After a tease of a possible match with fucking Big Justice and Big Boom AJ. Keith Hobson with 8 months. Merry Christmas, OTS family. Thank you, brother. Santa Claus is a good movie with Tim Allen. That's it. That's a good one. It's the first one.
No clubs.
Terry's Odyssey with 10 in Super Chat. No message. Thank you, brother. Phil! Our good buddy Phil with a $10 Super Chat. Merry Christmas, JD and OTS. Been a crazy few weeks. Moving to a new place is getting me stressed, which is why I haven't been active on here, but I'm always listening. Here's to 2025. Brother, be safe with the move, man. I hate moving. One of the most stressful things a human being can do, man, is pack your shit up in fucking boxes and move from place to place.
North of the river.
Good luck with that, bro. Arcade the Hedgehog with a $5 Super Chat. JD, if Tony is the CEO that writes AEW, then what does that make Mercedes money? Shouldn't we be blaming her for the bad shows? In fact, why do we need 2 CEOs? One is a fictional CEO, and the other is a real-life CEO.
Potomac? What did it take to knock one of those off?
Neither one of them are doing a good job.
Last.
Guardian of Chaos with a $20 Super Chat. What's up, brother? Merry Christmas, JD. Some lousy news on a blessed day. I could use the power of prayer. My older brother is in ICU, fighting for his life. Thank you for providing this distraction, my brother. God bless this channel. Sorry to hear that, Guardian. Nothing but the absolute best for our guy, Guardian of Chaos, man. I hope at some point, man, you did try to enjoy what the holiday season means and what it brings. Our thoughts and prayers with Guardian, man. Let me see some prayer emojis for Guardian's brother in the chat. Triple M. $5 Super Chat. Hope you had a good Christmas, Herb. You say Destiny on a new laptop. When you try it on there, make sure you cap or uncap first person or frame rate to 144 FPS. Gonna hit different. Well, we'll see, brother. I bought myself a new Asus gaming laptop. Hopefully you had a good Christmas too, man. Michael Krause with $2 Super Chat. AEW thinks good matches are story. Makes no sense, no? This whole show is nothing but banger matches. More draining than anything.
Could be something around that my focus.
Phil with a 999. I agree the tournament rules didn't need to be changed, but I didn't mind the change. The championship finals prediction is Okada and Ospreay. With Okada winning. I want Fletcher, but I don't see it. Bro, if Kyle Fletcher doesn't win this tournament, we waste everybody's time. Extremely wasting everybody's time. If they do Okada and Ospreay to have Okada win again instead of make a return to the Continental Championship, that's not gonna mean shit. This match doesn't need the Continental Championship. Jason, thank you for the $100 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Oh, shit, for the $4.99. No message. Final boss becomes a new member. Omni Slash with a 100 super chat. Thank you, bro. Oh, shit, with a 99 cents. Fixes a bind with a $5 super chat. He says, thank you for being here on Christmas Day. I'm all worried about my slowly. It's all good now that I get it. Happy I could deliver a distraction. Kill a swag with 29 months. Merry Christmas, OTS family and JD. Hashtag OTS for life. Thank you, bro. Jason Barker, the $5 super chat. Big Boom Justice. Or Big Boom AJ. Or part on TikTok earlier today like a fucking boomer. Good for him. Cringy fucking family. And Evil Tunstall with 15 months. I'm moving to my first apartment on Monday, then going to the WWE Holiday Tour here in Detroit to celebrate the real World Champion Kevin Owens. That's love. Let him know that we appreciate him, buddy. Guys, that's it. I'll be back Friday. Thank you for a great stream. Appreciate you guys very much. Hopefully Santa does some good to you on Christmas night. Live on Christmas night, man. Never say that JD doesn't love what he does, man. I'm not fucking Christmas night. Jesus Christ. Covering Dynamite of all shows. Make sure you guys follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell notifications. Adam Hernandez is coming in big with a tour. Don't know how drivers are in New York, but I compare Italy to drivers here in Phoenix. These drivers changing lanes in 6 direction. Don't make any sense, brother. It's terrible. Nobody switches lanes back and forth. Nobody's hurt. Anyway, guys. Live Friday on SmackDown. We'll be here on the channel. Vote in the OTS 2000 Best of Poll. And make sure you guys hit that thumbs up on the way out. I will see you guys right back here Friday for more on the channel. SmackDown Live right here on Off the Script. I will see you guys later. And please, enjoy the holiday. Thank you guys for all the support. And Merry Christmas.
Toyotathon is on at Jerry's Toyota. Jerry's has Toyotathon deals, including new Toyota Camrys from only $219 a month. Or drive off in a new Toyota RAV4 Hybrid from just $289 a month. Attention truck buyers, Jerry's has financing as low as 1.9% on new Toyota Tundras and new Tacomas from only $169 a month. Do it for new and used Toyota sales, service, and collision. Visit Jerry's Toyota, just 2 blocks north of the Beltway on Bel Air Road, and online at jerrystoyota.com.
What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing. However you cha-ching, Shopify is a global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify is there to help you grow. Whether you're selling sales to the seller or offering outdoor markets, Shopify helps you sell wherever and whatever you're selling. Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try. With podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. Employees Trust. Not only so great about yourself, talking to someone who understands and really how. When does that make sense? How do you find that? Talkspace makes it easy to get something. With Talkspace, you go online and get your professional about topics and you match your business. And because you need your therapist online, you don't have to keep time off your relationship. Whatever you feel most weeks, someone with a relationship, who wants some counseling, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insurers no insurance, no problem. Now get $80 off of your first month on the Talkspace email. Can you go to Talkspace.com? Must be therapist today at Talkspace.com. Space 80 at Talkspace.com. Multiple staff multiple passwords. These passwords just happen to one on a dating profile. Don't manage that one. Facts can cause headaches. LastPass gives you visibility and protection for both managed and unmanaged apps. That's all right. So you can even visit LastPass.com to learn more and start your free trial today. Every month,
This tunnel's not still in one piece.
Samsa and Joel Hayden of the Super J-Cast. And that's a pretty lengthy discussion, so we're going to jump into that here in just a moment. I'll also be covering all the latest news, news, and answering your questions. Please support our show by subscribing and following the Social Suplex Podcast Network or Keeping It Strong Style on the podcast app of your choice and even a rating. You can also get all the network's podcasts over at socialsuplex.com. Check out our ProWrestlingTees store, ProWrestlingTees.com/socialsuplex. That's where you can get your official Keeping It Strong Style t-shirt. If you enjoyed this podcast, please consider making a one-time or monthly donation by visiting socialsuplex.com/donate and and clicking on the donate button on his strong style.
Look out below!
Now, normally we're streaming live on Patreon.com. Our Patreon subscribers with IWGP level, please understand that this week in Germany, how we're unable to hear this live, but we're making it to have guests from Super J-Cast and Chris Samsa on the show for a super special,
Well, that fits.
But
hope it
in the
works.
future, we will get that worked out. We will get things figured out. So, stick with us. If you want access to the weekly live stream, ad-free audio, and bonus content, please subscribe to patreon.com/KIStrongstyle. Without any further ado, we're not going to keep it much longer because this is a weekly discussion. I'm going to kick it over, and because I'm sort of that member my name's guys, I'm going to let them talk. We'll get the thoughts of both myself, Chris, David, and Joel.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Super J-Cast. I'm Joel, joined by Dave. It is Monday, 5th of August 2024. This is episode 322 and it's a very special one this week. It's a G1 Supercast. As you all know, we are very late in the Supercast and it does get hard to come up with interesting takes for the middle of the break like that. So we're going to listen to some others and one of our guests, I know, is going to attach this audio to the additional solo podcast. So ideally, he's going to want a nice clean edit where he can slide that in seamlessly to get so many uploads. But after many heated arguments about what's important to this, I feel that it is our duty to sabotage it by making constant references to the Super J-Cast. You're listening to the Super J-Cast. This is Super J-Cast by brand audio. We've got sprinkled delivery throughout the recording, interrupting our guests wherever possible to let the listeners know that this is the Super J-Cast. And just either have our guests admit defeat or face an absolute nightmare of an edit. Now, this could just be me doing a bit. We might actually go ahead and have a discussion. We like to keep it terrible, so we need a nice little gap here for the initial edit. There's a special G1 Climax Roundtable audio for myself, Joel, Super J-Cast, joined by David McDonald, also the Super J-Cast. You probably lost after the ready listenership there. Hello, David.
Hi, everyone. Hi. We're excited because this is a historic day for us. We're very special guests. One, if I'm not mistaken, I did a solo show with when Joel was away. But for the first time, gracing our airwaves and sharing the podcasting space. It's a great challenge from Team and Strong Side. What's up, Rob? Sorry.
Hey guys, I'm glad to be here. It's fine that you are trying to, capitalize and bogart the branding space because I'm going to be recording my own intro to this show, and I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want leading into it. And our listenership is going to, so.
No, this is not going to be good. Hey, and so while we're here, again, Josh from the great Team Strong is joining us, as well as my face. Oh, cheater! I don't think I will be honest. Do it. Yeah.
I was going to say, I have the best Josh in my podcast. Now I'm editing. Anyway, we can choose someone. That's certainly not using my staff. So, the rest of the program is Chris.
Oh, hello. I don't
Oh shit! Let me ask you a question. How many questions did you get around this time? Like, can we say, no, don't tell us. How about this? Let's set the over under. I'm going to set the over under at 6. Over or under, Josh?
Oh, me?
No, well, how many does Chris get? How many does Chris get?
Wait, what's the timeline? I'm thinking the whole G1 tournament?
Yes,
like,
yes.
From like preview to review? Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm going to say 6.
It depends. In the past, it was probably more, and then for a while there during the pandemic, it was probably less. And now, I would say like, let's say 8.
8? Ooh. Joel?
I'm not going to guess. I have a follow-up question. How many of those do you actually turn up for?
Well, let me tell you. I tell you what. I show up for anything that I actually.
It'd be fascinating
So
if
if
they
I
weren't looking
tell
for
you I'm
me.
going to be there, I will absolutely be on the call or on the video wherever you need me. I will respond to emails and messages. So if that needs to change or y'all need to change it, that's what I will say about how many actually turn out to. Any that I commit to. But
Unlike some people we know.
I don't know anything about that.
So that I was on the Disney cast.
The last minute question that's on tell you. So over 6, definitely. Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely over
Let's see
6.
Till next
There's a
time.
few that are kind of assumed. So like keeping strong style and speaking of strong style, they can kind of pencil me in usually, and then I have to try to do everything I can. Just get out there and say hello to people, especially this year with that contest and the G1 pickup. Work for us, kind of working its way up, so we have some stuff to actually talk about and promote. So I did a little promo, and I kind of kept it limited. I just did like 3 or 4 intro podcasts. And now I'm on this, which is really special, man. I wedged myself into this, so. But yeah, people ask. And if I can make it, I make it work. I've got a 4-month-old baby now, so it's a little harder for me to wedge the time in this year. But I think I've gotten out there as much as I can, and I'll do some stuff this fall too. I think I'm gonna try to hit up some new spaces. So yeah, I always love to jump in with Super J-Cast. I think it's the only time I was on J-Cast the time we did it, Damon, or just
I think so.
Joel, you and I have done something together, right?
We've done that, so take us.
We did. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, great. Good.
When was that? When did you guys go up there?
What's going on here? Both of you forgot them.
I don't know. I'm asking. I know. There's a lot that goes on in my head.
Wait, when did we do it?
When did you do it?
do?
Are you sure it was him?
I don't know. We definitely took one though.
We did a thing with.
podcasting.
We did a thing with the draft. That draft podcast. That's.
No, I've definitely done Jake Austin.
I believe.
Are you sure? I don't.
I sort of believe you. I feel like that might have happened. I did have the thought before I logged in.
We did a review of one festival. That was October 2022.
Wow, that's legit. I'm sure that happened.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I couldn't even tell you what was on that show. You had it like you could quickly remember off the top of your head, no looking. What was the main event of that show?
Royal Quest 2?
Electric Boogaloo.
It was FTR and
Yeah.
You
Aussie Open.
The Open. And then it had some Ishii and
Tsuji.
Zuji. Like,
yeah. I don't even. I have no. All right, and that's part of the question. All right, Joel. I'm sorry. This is going to be tough with 4 people. And me only one show.
You have friends to take the audio room as well. Can I ask you a question? What do you think the Venn diagram of J-Cast to keep the strong style listenership?
It's really hard to say. I think that there's definitely crossover, but there's certainly a wide variety of people that only listen to you guys, listen to us, and don't listen to the other show. So some of them are, hopefully there's more people that listen to this and think it's really cool that we're doing, combined audio, as opposed to people are like, fuck, you're making me listen to those guys.
Come on. Here's the thing. I appreciate the fact that there are 2 podcasts that satisfy only two. There's just 2. Let's do it here. There's just 2. But again, there are things that kind of check the boxes. I use it, and I just think the fact that anybody would I love their alliances. Like, you can't like us impossibly like that, and vice versa, right? It's just impossible.
Well, I know that we have different audiences just based on the kinds of questions and comments you guys get and interaction that I see you guys have on Twitter, as well as like some of this. I'm not in your guys' Discord, but I sometimes snaps of whatever you guys have going on. I just tell it's a totally different face of New Japan that you guys circulate in than what we typically do. And honestly, I'm kind of just a talent. Just show up. Jeremy does most of it as far as like in our stratosphere or whatever. So I don't even really know what this is strong style. I just know it's a lot.
Yeah, I think we've been artists. They're just but here's what I like about them. They're a loyal person, so it works. I can't tell you how I'm on our own Discord. Fuck this, I'm making no part of it. No matter. I'm banned from our own Discord. How about that? What does that tell you? That's the kind of fucking people we're dealing with. Alright, cool. Alright, again, Joel, please, the vote is yours.
Right, so before we get into the G1 stuff, the new fan behaviour edict has been on. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but local fans have paid down this. Basically, this is about instructing users for sort of t-shirt stuff coming in. Classic inside thing. Now, that Discord is actually merged into other areas, including people who attend shows wearing baseball caps and and the next thing, right, is that bald people should also be banned. It doesn't think that's so, what do you think? Mission! Ban bald people from attending these events?
That's not real, right?
No, it is.
It's not as mission either. There's absolutely good bans.
Nobody wants to talk over each other.
Go for it. The floor is yours. I mean, I see these videos.
That sounds ridiculous to me. I can't imagine that that would actually, be put into effect. But at the same time, you guys, especially both of you, Joel and David, you guys have both been, in Japan and kind of have ridiculous. So I really couldn't say if that's realistic or not. I mean, you guys know how those things.
Not a concern of mine, actually.
Yeah.
Sounds a little out there.
I'm the only one. I think I'm it. I'm the fucking world. And I gotta be honest, if they can see around my big fucking fat frame, trust me, the head is the least of their concerns. Jesus Christ. I feel so bad for the people that have to sit behind. And it's always like the tiniest, shortest person in the entire fucking country, and I feel so bad. I've offered to see. I've done everything. I just feel like a fucking, just a gigantic concept. I just feel that. And so listen, bald head. That's the least of it. Most of the that's right. What is the worst fan behavior that you've ever experienced? I'll open that up for Josh.
At a wrestling show?
Yes.
Or at a... I don't know. I mean, the one time I was in Los Angeles, you won a match, and Jeremy Donovan lifted me up. Wow. We were very excited. I don't know. I don't worry myself with what other people are doing. And that may sound sort of altruistic, but it's God's honest truth. Have a good time, do your thing, stand up in front of me, I'll stand up, sit down in front of me, I'll sit down. I don't think that much about it. And I go to American.
That's good. Because that's beyond the pale.
It doesn't feel like that's caught on, so, try your
because I
best.
snapped it out. It's I took drastic action to make sure that it stops. And for wrong, you're
Well, gatekeeping is good. We've all determined that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, occasionally you have like the one dude that's trying to interact with everyone around them, and no one's kind of taking the bait. I don't know. I go like weird. I don't know. I grew up in like a punk rock world, so like there's not much that can sometimes me. So I just sort of I've seen some shit, and literally like nothing throws me off in the live event space. So you know, most of the stuff I go to now is pretty standard. So do your chance. I don't know. Just keep your clothes on. That's all I really ask. But even if you don't, just stay away from me.
Well, I'll tell you guys, I'm in Florida, so I've had, quite a few, not so much recently, but I've been to quite a few of the NXT Largo Loop shows. And let me tell you, those shows are the outskirts of, like freaking mobile home parks and like really, really sketchy areas. And they don't necessarily, and it's here in Florida in the South, it doesn't necessarily attract the, most politically correct type of audience. So, when the Joshi wrestlers wrestle, there's been all sorts of really, really racist remarks at those. I remember when the guys from Imperium wrestled, there was a guy that got thrown out for doing Nazi symbols. And then one time a drunk guy got in the ring, and he got murdered by Kyle O'Reilly. He literally kicked this dude's head off, and he So I've seen quite a few things here and there.
It's amazing because I hate everyone at wrestling shows. Everything annoys me. Every person doing dumb chants. I just hate. I think I'm the polar opposite of. But yeah, that's just nutty. I just hate that.
You just gotta buy the VIPs.
That's what I do. And that's unfortunately, yeah. I can't sit anywhere else. Yeah, I will pay the top dollar for that keep me away from experience. That's my experience.
Well, last time we were at a wrestling show together, we all stood in the back and got drunk together, so there's that.
That is very true. That's very true. That is very true. And then, I think the last time Chris Lee met up was G1. So speaking of G1, Joel, that's a perfect segue for you, Bill.
Absolutely same thing. So, Rainbow Chronicles. Overall thoughts on so far, what have been your biggest takeaways about wrestling?
I think it's been high floor, and I think the ceiling is raising every couple of shows. I think they're getting strikes. Just like they're what 10 events in? Yeah, 10 events in. And I think most of those events have been really, really good pro wrestling shows. I think that I think a lot about how correlated one is like the outside, right?
Easy.
To me, the G1 is right. Music output, right? That goes
right. It's never easy.
It has the liner notes, which is probably into like the backstage promos. Every kind of event is a different song, and every match is sort of a different piece to each song. And that's the puzzle, right? And I don't think that anyone can really gauge what the quality of the G1 is the actual end of it. I think there's a generation behind me that's coming up that is, they don't know the glory of like a wonderful music album. And they know singles, and they know 30-second snippets for their TikTok, reels. And like, this is not old man, yelling at things. Like, that's the reality of it. And the music industry knows that. Each of those little matches, those matches in the G1 is kind of a TikTok snippet, right? And what we haven't had is that viral TikTok snippet in this year's G1. We had a lot of really good songs. I think we're building towards a really great album, but I think what we're seeing for most people right now is we haven't had that viral sensation snippet. I think it's coming. I think there's been a lot of stuff that's close to it. I don't think we can say that we have that moment yet. But I think there's been a lot of really good matches. I think there's been a lot of really good events. We are building towards a really full G1.
I swear to God. Unbelievable. Great job, Chris. All right, Josh, beat that one.
Praxis hilarious, Chris. But just to kind of keep it simple, I do think that there is a negative perception about the quality of the shows and the quality of the matches that's not truly reflecting what we're seeing in front of us. I think it's part of like a lagging perception that the company's cold, right? So people feel that way, so they're down on the product. Even though,
Be a good
in
spot
my
for
opinion,
jumping
I feel
onto
like
the
this
Tallneck.
tournament has been a turnaround, collection of events where they've been really, really good. Now, I'll admit, I think that I was a little devastated that nights 7 through 10 weren't necessarily the highest quality, but then again, it's right in the middle of the tournament. You sort of expect that. But I knew we were all recording together, and I was like, fuck, these are not, like, great shows necessarily. But prior to that, I felt like we were a collection of awesome G1 nights, which we haven't seen the likes of this since, like 2019, 2020. So it is sort of a return to form. And this perception that they're not having great classic matches, I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that what I'm seeing on Cage Match, what I'm seeing on Twitter, is just more of like a mindset that people feel like the company is cold, so they're down on it. But in fact, we're seeing quite a few really, really, really great matches. There's a lot of story arcs going on. And this is the most unpredictable tournament in probably since like 2012, because even at this current time, like, everybody's still alive and nobody knows who those top 3 guys are going to be for each one.
The one thing I always, and I have had people in my life that have hopped into New Japan, hopped out, have been massive fans, and that is cool.
Okay, time to climb up to its
and it's do you think that the unpredictability, it plays a positive factor in those fans kind of returning to the fold, in that a lot of times I get I don't know who that person is, or I don't that person is now maybe better. So is it just the match quality that will help bring those people back, or is it just keep the pace, keep the keep the pattern in which we're going, and eventually they will come back because it's bound to be great.
I think, unfortunately, like, these guys gotta kind of keep themselves like need a return to form, because that's what drew people initially, and then they stuck around for compelling storylines and compelling characters.
I always think about G1s and how people just hone in on that certain time frame, and rightfully so, in the sense that it is arguably some of the greatest pro wrestling in the history of this great sport. But I feel like there are a lot of bills being paid now, especially when it comes to your Naitos. Yeah, and obviously Tanahashi's not in it, but again, Okada's not in it. But you get those guys that were in the mix when it comes to those fantastic heaters, and it's like the body just can't do that on a regular basis. It's one of those things where it's okay, is it a mindset of, okay, we can't possibly do this every single night, or is it just, hey, you know what, these are new people establishing themselves in a tournament for a lot of people the first time, and let's give them a fucking chance for starters.
I think this tournament, I hope we look back at this tournament and we're looking at something similar to like this 2013 G1, where the output wasn't match of the year, right, every night. You didn't have this, you had a lot of great matches first, right? But I think that's the same this year. It's just, they didn't mean as much then as they did in 18, I guess, because the characters hadn't interacted much, the wrestlers hadn't interacted as much. And that's sort of what we have happening here right now, where there's been a lot of turnover within the G1. They tried some different stuff over the last couple of years, and I think that did sort of reduce the perception of the importance of the G1 to the industry of professional wrestling by messing around with the format over the last couple of years. But it also gave them a chance to try a couple guys out that maybe wouldn't have gotten a shot, right? On the positive side. And to give, the young crew had sort of a
There must be no
soft
Took
launch in
looking out at
G1
that
last year with the changes in
tower.
format and the
It
changes
looks
in
like it's
timeline
sending
and
out
everything
a
like that, too.
pulse or signal.
So, we're back to 20. 20
Now, Took?
wrestlers.
Who
We've
are
got a
you?
really good mix
How did you
of
find me?
Bergrand told me you'd be out
I
here.
guess, this
He's
year's,
persistent. I've told that Oseram 1,000 times. I don't need to buy anything.
we
And
are
I'm
getting
not
that
selling.
sort of output
I
now.
just need to find a
You've got
Rhea.
guys
Well, you won't.
that are,
She's
you
gone
know,
where only
still
Shambles
fresh
can
and maybe just then hitting
She
their
seeks
peak,
guidance from
that
the
have now
voice in the
had
blue
4 or 5
light.
G1s
That
and have
is her task.
storylines with each other, and they've
And
really
the
kind
task
of
she gave
sectioned
me
each
is to
other
observe
off.
the daemon's
I
work,
think this is that
to
G1.
stop it spreading,
This is
if I
that
can.
G1 where you look back at it in 5 years
What
and
can
say,
I
oh,
do
that's
about
the one
these
that
towers?
began this run.
In only a few
And I don't
weeks
know if
they've
it's going to have
sprouted
the high
throughout the
highs
cut.
that one did. I mean, how
The
could it,
daemon's
right? Like
energy
that's,
pulses from
again,
them,
some of the best professional
rallies
wrestling
the
of
machines,
all time
even repairs
is
them.
happening in that moment. And, you know, the world is
Aratak
different
said this
now in
daemon
so many
was
different ways.
frenzying
So,
machines.
but I
Look
do
there.
hope that,
Those with
you
the
know, for
purple
the New
markings.
Japan fan base or
They
the
belong to
fan
the
base
daemon.
that comes into New
They're stronger,
Japan during
more
that time,
dangerous.
my hope is
I've
that
seen something like
this
this
is a tournament that we
before.
can point to as
The
a starting
corruption.
point to say, you know,
But it
oh,
wasn't
I
from
want
the
to get into
daemon.
New Japan.
You
What should
have?
I check out? And you say
Well,
start
then
with
you know more than I do.
and you know
These
whatever that
towers,
means, right? And then
were they
and
part
take
of
from
your
there
corruption?
and go
No.
G1. You know, my recommendation
Those
is
are new
always
to
to
me,
go
too.
Like I
like
said,
G1 final
they
to Wrestle
empowered the
Kingdom,
daemon's
G1
machines.
final to Wrestle
They
Kingdom.
must be
And you're going
stopped.
to be able to keep up on everything that's been going on with New Japan if you go back in time. Even if you just hit those
Will you
2
tell
shows
me where
every
Orion
year,
went?
you're probably
You ask
gonna
a
have
lot
a
of
good idea what's
questions.
going on.
Only
I'm
one
really
not getting
hopeful
the answers I
this is more
need.
There's
this
but one
generation
voice Soraya
starting.
wants to hear right now.
I mean, let's be honest, that's what me and Joel do anyway.
I'm sorry.
Topic we touched on last week.
All
was
right.
the
You want to
attendance,
stop
and
the
I think
spread of the
since
daemon's
then,
work? I know how to get
the
started.
cumulative attendance
With my
is,
bow
a
and
touch
spear.
lower than it was
Outlander, wait.
last year. So,
Won't you tell
Josh,
me your
first,
name?
how much of a concern
Aloy.
is attendance for you?
Good.
Previously?
If you fall
You know,
to the daemon's machines, at least I
I
can
don't
properly
really pay
recount your
as
efforts
much
to Araya.
Thanks for the vote of
attention to
confidence.
business metrics
But I
as
won't fall.
maybe you guys do.
And when I'm done, you're
Although
gonna
I
tell me
would
where
like
she
to
is.
be a little bit more entrenched in it. I have looked at some of the numbers, and they are a little bit soft, but there seems to be an up and down swing on the tours this year. You know, like in the first quarter, they were doing really well, and then during the second quarter, when Odyssey was on top, they had some shows that did well when they were bigger shows, and then they had other ones that kind of underperformed. The ones in America obviously did really well, and the G1 maybe isn't quite where it used to be, and it's probably very much due to the fact that there's no Ospreay, there's no Okada, there's no Tanahashi, there's no the list goes up. There's no Jay White, and a lot of those big name stars are gone. So it is a bit of a rebuilding period, and that's probably what it's really boiling down to. I would assume more so than anything else.
There's also been a couple of new buildings that New Japan's running their first show in, or their first G1 show in. So I do think that's mostly a negative because it's not a familiar place and there's no history. I think that venue history in Japan is sort of important. So when you add in 2 or 3 new buildings, sometimes the buildings draw, right? I mean, we're seeing it over the next couple of
By that
days.
pulse
Like,
from the tower.
those shows are sold out. Like, Super Rare sold out. They had to announce that they were sold out, but they're not going to have any tickets at the door. So, like, and I think that Eddie Osborne's shows sold really well, and I think we saw some good ticket sales in Aichi, just the other night. So I do think that I think that matters. That matters, but I also do think that you got to
We can kill them with hands. What about the tower?
Now they only did 700 because
Or override it.
so right, the next time they come back, they get 22, 20, 2,000, whatever, right? Like, so you gotta pepper that stuff in. Right now, I think through the event is pretty much year over year to last year. I think that the tail end of this tournament drawing power. You don't really have that one, but slightly but up, you know, and I think that's
Oh, what the fuck? I mix out the alarm bell without. Sort of like what you mentioned, Chris, when you're talking about like looking at it holistically. I think it's going to make more sense to look at the tour when it's over, and then compare, and then you can really kind of get a gauge for where they did well, where they didn't do well, and what the overall impact was business-wise. You know, where they can improve and that sort of thing.
Right. Now, since we last recorded, I believe Strong Style, you guys finished on night 7 as well, so we've got night 8 and night 9. So rather than go match by match, I'm just going to quickly read through the results, and then I'll ask each of you what stood out for you on those 3 nights. So night 8, we had Tsuchi defeating Bolton, NRA defeating Yuya, Cobb defeating ELP, Red defeating Goto, Finley defeating Takeshita, the main event. Night 9, we had Jake defeating Callum, Greg defeating Evil, Raito defeating Gay, Arsenal defeating Shota, which exactly 9. In night 10, we had Finley defeating Ollie Bolton, ELP defeating Yuya, Cobb defeating NRA, Goto defeating Takeshita, and CZ defeating Red. So David, we'll go to you first. Out of those 3 nights, what stood out?
I think everyone, I don't even know how to speak for everyone, but for me, I'll say, I sat here and said last week, circle Goto. I think he's still got plenty left in the tank. And talking about being in the ring with someone who's in their low to mid 20s. I don't know. I can only speak for myself, but I would think that there might be a little bit of a chip on the shoulder, just to say, okay, let's see you can go. And I was thoroughly impressed. And there's something about the old, grumpy veteran who still got stuff in the tank, and who lets it all out. Does Hiroki Goto give you everything he's got every single time in the ring? Probably. Does he need a dance partner that can really go at this point? Allow you to have, say, that TikTok moment, that TikTok match? Probably as well, right? Especially a guy who, for years has been, I wouldn't say taking a backseat when it comes to the tag team stuff, but and I think it's an equal share of who's carrying the load. He's in a tag situation, right? So to ask someone to give them a tap on the shoulder and go, hey, you know what? It's not, you got a main event coming here. And what do you say? What do you say? What do you say? You put on a fucking gym, but you know you can. I think it's saying something. I don't know. I felt a little proud. I was proud of him. And I probably shouldn't be because he's done very pro wrestling and himself. But to have a match like that, and to keep up, and in some cases, dictate the pace. I don't know. I had a real warm spot for that. So that's my positive. That's my overwhelming positive. And I would say the thing that sticks out to me the most, and again, we have heard some of it is a little tongue-in-cheek, and some of it is a little more serious. I'm worried that it's solidifying my thoughts for a while. It is a joke, but I don't know if my assessment and people's assessment to me about individuals necessarily equate to where we are. And unfortunately, I'm speaking about ELP. I'm speaking about Shooter. I'm speaking about guys that were always on that bubble thread of, hey guys, this is your opportunity. This is the show. Let's see what you got. We're rooting for you. We want this to happen. And I don't know if it's happening yet. So, positive, obviously that match. But also, again, not the negative, but the, come on, is that there's some guys that I wanted more, and I think a lot of people wanted more, and I don't know
Yeah, I'm just kind of noticing a lot of the guys that were trailing at the end of night 7 started getting some wins to get them back on the board. So right now, looking, you're still at a point where, like, in B block, the lowest point total is like 4. You got Bolton and ELP there, but Finley and Jeff Cobb are, only a few matches ahead of them with like 8 points. so it's still pretty much anyone's ballgame over there. So they're making sure to like keep everybody alive. And then on the A block, you know, Zach he took a couple losses in some big matches. Evil took a loss, and things are not so much as parity based there, but even with the 3 slots open, it's still anyone's ballgame. I mean, Jake Lee, Great O'Connor down the bottom at 4 points there. Evil's at the top of 10. There were, even though I felt like these last 3 nights weren't necessarily like standout events. I did like night 8 having the classic retro middle of the G1 presentation, dimmed lights and spotlight on everything, and it just kind of reminded me of like old G1s instead of like being in these open, bright gymnasiums, which is what we got right back to on nights 9 and 10, which is fine, but sometimes I like that old look, which they did there. And then there were 2 standout matches. The main event on night 9 between Zach and Shingo. Those 2 guys always tear it up. I don't know if I thought that match was as good as some of their previous outings, but it was still very, very, very good. And then the match between Goto and Takeshita was, you know, a lot of people are calling it the match of the tournament. I don't know if I'm in that same camp, but seeing Goto pick up the win over Takeshita, that was definitely like a standout moment of the tournament so far.
Yeah, I think I expected there to be some separation in at least one of the blocks where like somebody really falls off and like actually is probably not eliminated by this point, but close. But that has not been the case. Nobody in this tournament is more than 1 match away from third place. So like everyone is still, you know, a threat to move on to that knockout stage. So I expected some sort of separation, but I think what we're doing, you know, usually there's 1 parity block.
I can kill the machines. But what about the tower?
Usually there's 1 parity block where like the block is all bundled together, kind of not tiebreakers. And then there's 1 block that's more of like a runaway from top to bottom, right, headed toward that final. This year it does look like both blocks, at least at this moment, when on August 5th, while it's recording, right before the Portland shows, they haven't created any separation in either block, which I think is neat. But I also it makes for the kind of figuring the rest of the tournament out a little less fun because there's no figuring to do yet, right? And I think it'll clear last couple of nights, obviously, as to where we're headed. I am surprised that we're really keeping everyone in the middle. It feels a little non-middle, which no one's truly getting the rocket strapped to their feet this G1. I think some guys are getting elevated, but it's a ladder, not a rocket. You know, but Goto's been a highlight, especially recently. I was shocked to see Takeshita lose 2 matches in a row. That feels unprotected. The matches have been great. I think that, you know, I'm disappointed that a guy like Julia is falling back to the middle. And, you know, but I'm excited that a guy like Suji's going to hopefully go on a surge here, right? So, but I fear that all those dudes are still going to end up in the pack. No one's really going to show any dominance. So my eyes are on, you know, very clearly on the book.
Okay, well let's talk about the rest of this. So we'll go through the understanding of the blocks, your thoughts on anything like really that performances so far, how you see the rest of their tournaments playing out, like you have any specific answers and scenarios, how deep you can go in the tournaments. We'll start with A block here, where we've got Evil with 10 points who lost to Brett O'Connor since we last recorded, and his final 3 matches will be Zach, Shingo and Shota. So let's start with let's go back to you.
I think there's a really good chance that Evil loses out the rest of the tournament. So he got his 5-match winning streak. That's his 3rd 5-match winning streak that he won. It's just a thing that they like to do. And I think that it's super possible that he goes loses his next, well, ultimately the last 4 which still could be in the running. I mean, I don't know where that lands, right? especially given the current layout of that block. But you know, I ultimately the evil matches have been evil matches. I do think they've been a little less egregious than years past, and a little more creative. And he is what he is, right? They gotta make him a threat. I don't want to call it a crutch. It's just what they do, right? So he's gotta become a threat, and then he'll taper down. We'll see. I don't think he's gonna maybe win the knockouts, but given his final 3 more opponents, I don't doubt that he can go on.
Josh, your thoughts on the
Yeah, I think Chris kind of echoes quite a few of the same sentiments there. One thing I will disagree with, while I do think that Evil has had a little bit better tournament in terms of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It being palatable matches. I felt like this week was much more of like a regression to the old tropes, and we started to see a lot more of the shenanigans and House of Torture shtick kind of inserted in his matches, which is, it's fine, it's whatever, it's the middle of the tour. But yeah, I am anticipating I don't even know necessarily that he will be one of those top 3 guys. So if other people are surging in that block, it would make a lot of sense to me for him to lose maybe all of them, like Chris said, or maybe 2 of them, and lose a tiebreaker where he doesn't get into the top 3 of the block. I'm not totally sure on that. But, of the matches that you listed to me, the one that stands out is the Zack match, because Zack always seems to have Evil's number.
Yeah, that will put them level on 10 points. I think the most instructive match for me there is having Shota on the final night, where they've obviously had some history. And if I'm not mistaken, the last match was at the most successful attempt Shota champion in the title. So I suspect we're looking at a scenario where Shota's either spoiling you or getting
That's got their attention.
And yeah, like you guys, I think we're to do this
Yeah, I mean, the hammering on the wall for that drop off from 10, it would be a nice scenario. He did lose all of those matches, helped establish guys in the process. It is set up for him to, again, with all these wins, to be that heel guy that's going to try to join people's dreams of winning G1 and falling short. The fans are happy, and everyone is, right? I don't think he's been terrible, and I don't think he's been one of those guys where I'm consistently grabbing the fast forward button. It's not. And maybe it's just that he has a little bit more pep in his step. Maybe it's just I'm numb to it. But I don't think it's been as just front and center in your face. I'm a heel. We're gonna do heel shit, etc., etc.
Here we go again.
That being said, I think there is the possibility of that being ramped up as we go further on. I would hope that, but I think that's always on the table. But yeah, I think he's in that perfect. Dare I say, gatekeeper heel placement in the block, and hopefully we can have people benefit off of that. But I don't think his tournament's been bad. In fact, I might go so far as to say,
and done.
Enjoyed it? Shoulder shrug? I don't know. But it's not this bad.
I don't want to dig up the whole speaking for the Japanese fans, but it does seem that they get more entertainment. Maybe just a comedic standpoint in Western fantasy, because I previously noticed the more positive. But again, we'll move on. We've got Zack Sabre Jr. in second place, he's got 8 points. So he lost to Shingo. It looked like he dropped right on his head with a shoulder.
I'll tuck.
His final 3 matches: Evil, Gatekeep, and Salam. So Ben, we'll start with you. Thoughts on Zack and how you
He was my pick from the beginning. He's been my pick from the beginning of the year, quite honestly. I think the table is there. I mean, he wasn't going to sweep. He wasn't going to go undefeated. I guess current standings, point-wise, does have me a little bit concerned. If we're looking for a pool win, which I'm in no way, shape, or form even close to being in contention. But hey, let me collect all the points I can. I still think he's a front runner for me anyway. For luck.